Hi guys, I hope all of you are doing well. So today I'll be covering another famous front-end machine coding problem, Tic Tac Toe. This question gets asked in many top product-based companies. So in this problem interview, we'll ask you to create a Tic Tac Toe game in which user can play Tic Tac Toe based on their turn until someone wins or match gets drawn. Okay, so we have to create something like this. We can see we have a 3 by 3 board in which user can play based on their turn. Now clicking on any cell will mark the cell as cross or a circle. And if we have same icon in all the cell of a column, a row, or diagonally, we can declare a winner. So suppose if we have circle in all of the cell of this column, this column, this column, this row, this row, this row, or diagonally, like we can declare a winner. Now, generally this question interview can ask you in different variation, like he can ask you to create the same game, but you can have like different number of cell, dynamic number of cell. Also, he can ask you to make it a single player games where you have to implement a functionality of CPU, so user can play the game in single mode. Okay. In today's video, I'll be covering the 3 by 3 turn-based version of this game. In upcoming videos, I'll be covering the other variation of this question as well. Okay, guys. Now, let's just quickly go into the editor and decide like what are the components we will require to implement this game. Now, first thing I can think of is a 3 by 3 board. So we will need a 3 by 3 board. Okay. This board will have 9 cells. Okay. Now, each and every cell will contain the information of the icon it is having. Okay. Now, again, we can have a message. Okay, this message will tell us the winner, the information of the winner, if the match is draw, and the current player, like whoever player has the current turn. Okay, so current player. Now, third thing that we can have is we can have a reset button. So suppose if a game is completed, then we want to reset the game. So by completed, I mean if we have a winner or if the match is draw, right? So what I'll do is I'll create a basic HTML structure and we'll do some designing on it and we'll see how it looks in a static mode. Then after that, we'll add some logic to it so that we can add the dynamic fields in the static structure. So first thing that I'll need is I'll need a container. So I'll give it a class of container. Okay, inside this container, we'll have all of these three things. So first thing we want to have is we want to have a message. So I'll just write it someone wants. So I'll just write a static message over here. Okay. Now we'll edit someone one. Again, I need two div as well. So one would be holding the board. So this div have will have a 3 by 3 board inside it, and that board will have like in turn will have cells. Now over here we will need a button. So I will add a button class. Okay. This button will basically what it will do, it will reset the game. Okay. Now I'll just change it to button instead of div. Copy this over here. Okay. So we have something like this. Now I'll just give it a class of message for the time. Okay. Now we know that this is a 3 by 3 board, so it will have 9 cells inside it. Okay. So what I want is I want to create 9 cells. So what we can do is we can create an array of 9 elements. And initially we can have null values inside it. Now what I want to do is I want to map over every element and I want to return a div. Okay, I want to return a div and this div will have a class of cell. Now let's just write X over here for the time being. Okay, so let's just create these classes, okay, and so that we can see them on the UI, and I'll just give them a border for the time being. So container, I'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid red, okay. Then again, what we'll do is we'll create same thing for the board and for this cell as well. So we have the structure now. Okay, I forgot to return it, so I'll just return it over here. Currently, I'm not returning it. So it will not be visible on the UI. I'll just delete this line. Okay, I'll delete this. Now let's just go on UL and see what we have. So we have some structure like this. Now let's just give it some designs. So I'll go into the developer mode. I'll grab this container. So what I want to do is I want to give it some design. So what I'll do is I'll give it a display of flex and I give it a flex direction of column. And what I want to do is I want to justify item, justify contents, center. I want to align the items to center as well. And for here, I think we should give some gap over here. So I'll give it a row gap of 16 pixels. Okay, now this is looking a bit better. So I think this is it for container for now. Let's just copy this class and paste it in our container. Okay, we can maybe we can remove this for now. Okay, so this is something like this. Now let's go on the board. So for the board, what I want to do is I want to display these 9 cells in a grid format. Okay. So how we can do this is we can give it a display of grid, and what I want to do, I want to create 3 columns, and inside every column we should have a div, and again we should have another row where inside every column we have the other div, and again we should have the third row in which we should have a div, individual div inside the column. So we can do this by doing this grid template columns. So I want to repeat something. Okay, what I want to repeat is I want to have 3 columns, and all of those columns should have same width. So this should do it, and let's give it a width of 100% for the time being. Okay, this is better. So this is taking the full space. What I'll do is I'll give it a max width of what, maybe 320 pixels. Maybe I'll just increase it. Just things. Yeah. So let's just add this class as well in the container. So max width over here, and for board, oh man, we lost all of the settings. Okay, I'll just add it over here. So for the board, we had added a display of what was it? Grid. Yep. Now we want to display it in column. So I'll give it a grid template column and repeat something. What I want to do, I have 3 column and 1 fractional unit. So they should have same size. Now what I want to do is I want to give them a width of 100%. So let's go. So we have something like this. Okay. Another thing I think we can add is for the container, we add a margin 0 over here and auto on left and right. So it is center. Yep. Now, what you want to do is you want to give some styling in the cell. So first thing I want to do is basically our cell are rectangle right now, and we don't want them to be rectangle. So I'll give them an aspect ratio of what, maybe 1 by 1. Yeah, that will make them like a square, right? Now what I want to do is I don't want this border as red. I'll give it something like maybe grayish. Okay, so this is good. Now inside this, if we have some text, I want it to look black. Okay, I want it to have a font size, anything which is minimum of 48 pixel or 10% of view width. Another thing I want to give it is font weight. I want to give it as bold, and I want to do text align center. Okay, so now we have something like this. Okay, let's just remove this red column. Okay, so we are somewhere close to this. Now, what we want to do. So basically, we have created this structure right now. Now, let's decide the logic for the game. Okay. So first thing we have to do is we have to see the dynamic parts of the game. Now we can see that we have to maintain some state of the current player, so that whenever I'm clicking on each cell, right? Whenever I'm clicking on each cell, that cell should have the icon of the current player, like whoever player it is playing. It could be a cross or a circle or anything like that, right? So we have to maintain state of the current player. Also, we want to maintain the state of the board. So at this point of time, like at a point of time, what index is having what icon? Is it having X, or it is having a O, or maybe cross or circle, right? So what we want to do is we want to have 2 states. So I'll just remove this for now. So I'll just create 2 states. So I'll mark it as is X playing. Okay. So now I'll add another set is X playing. Okay. This would be a use state. By default, let's say X will always have a first turn. Okay. Now we have to create another state of board. So this will contain like an array of 9 items, and in each index, it will tell us what is the current index containing, like what icon the current index is containing. Okay. Then we also have a set board functionality. Over here, we want to have an array of 9 items, and we fill it as null. Okay, for the time being. And also, like instead of doing this, we just do this. Okay, use it from board. Now we have the board. We have this set board functionality. So what we want to do is we want to set board whenever we click on a cell, right? We discussed it, like whenever we click on a cell, that board should have the icon of the current player. Okay. So now what we'll do, let's make this message logic first. Okay. So instead of this static message, we'll write a function to get message. Okay. Now, okay, I have to wrap it inside the curly braces. So const get message. Okay. So this will be a function which will basically give us a string. Okay. Now over here, what we have to do, if we have a winner, okay, if we have a winner, you have to do something like this. If we have a winner, so I'll just create a const variable named winner. Okay, winner. So suppose it's false for the time being. Okay, if we have a winner, we have to return some text. Okay, that will tell me that okay, uh, winner is winner is what? Winner is winner. So this will contain the information of the winner. Okay, this fix its spelling. Okay, now we have to check for the case of draw. Okay, so how will we check the case of draw? So in case of draw, if we don't have a winner, okay, if we have a winner, this will get returned. But if we don't have a winner and if all of the cells are filled, okay, that means if board uh, is includes null. So if board is not including null, means all of the values are filled and also we don't have a winner. So that means match is draw. It means match is draw, right? And if we don't have anything of these, then we have to show like the current, show the information about the current player who is having the current turn, right? So we will write something like return your turn and your turn what? Uh, okay, for your turn we'll do if X is playing, then we will return it as X. Okay, else we will return it as O, something like this. Okay, turn if X is playing, then we should do this, and else we okay, yeah, this is good. So now let's see. Okay, your turn X. Yeah. So currently, as I said, like X would have the first turn. So our logic is working fine. And also make a reset game. Maybe just set it as reset game. Okay. On click, we want to do something. So I'll just write like dummy function over here, and we'll decide like what we have to do in the reset. So on reset, I have to do something. So I'll just write on reset. I have to do something. Okay. Right. Now, what I have to do is I have to implement some functionality on clicking on this. On clicking of this, I have to first update the state of the board. Okay. And when this state is updated, then this code will rerun. Okay. And when this will rerun, on every stage, we will check if we have a winner. Okay. So instead of false, we will write a function determine winner. Okay. Now, what this function will do, it will take the board. So we will use the knowledge of this and return the name of the winner. Okay, because this name we have to show over here. So I'll create this function over here because this function will always be same and it doesn't need to be, recreated every time. So why is it always same? So as I told you, we are having a 3 by 3 board. Okay, the number of cells are not dynamic over here. So there are only X number of constant number of combination in which a user can win. So what are those combination? So if we have for index 0, for index 1, for index 2, if we have all the same values, then we can conclude the player has won, right? Again, if for index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have same values, then we can conclude the player has win. And again, for these index, and diagonally, all of these index, if they contain the same icon, okay, then we can conclude the player has won. So what we'll do is we'll maintain an array. So this will be a winning combination, okay? Winning combination. Okay, so this will be an array which will contain or another array. So these array will contain all the combination in which a user can win. So suppose 0, 1, 2, and what was the other one? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, And again 5, and then we can have 6, 7, and 8. Again, we'll need three combination. So these were for rows. Now we need for columns. For columns, what we can have like we can see over here. We can have 0, 3, 6. So I'll just fill it over here. 0, 3, 6. Okay. Again, we can have 1, 4, 7. You know, 1, 4, and 7. And on the last one, 1, 4, 7, we can have 2, 5, 8. Okay. So we can have 2, 5, and 8. So again, we got 2 for diagonal as well. So I'll just create a copy of these array. And for diagonal, we can have 0, 4, 8. So we can have 0, 4, and 8. Okay, 0, 4, 8. And we can have 2, 4, 6. So we can have 2, 4, and 6. So these are all the combination in which a current user can win, right? So we will use these combination to determine our winner. So how we will do that? Now let's write a logic for that. So I'll just write a function determine winner. Okay, so here we go. It will receive a board. Now, board will have the knowledge about the current indexes, like where we have, where we have added the, where we have added the icon, or which icon is it in the current index. Okay. Now, what we want to do, we want to iterate over these winning combination. So I'll do a for loop over here. So for let I equals to 0. Okay. And what I want to do is I is less than winning combination dot length. I want to iterate on all of these. I want to increment. So what do we want to check over here, right? Don't you think I just add that? Yeah. So what do we want to check over here? So we want to check, want to first grab the winning combination. Okay. So we want to grab all the index. So we will have an array. Okay. For winning combination for ith element, we will have three elements. This x, y, or z. So we'll grab these x, y, or z. Okay. We destructured them. And what I want to do is I want to check if these indexes in the current board are having the same icon. Okay. If I have board and I have to check it on this board on X location, first thing is I should not have null. Okay. That means a value is not filled over here. And I want to check if board of X is equal to board of Y. Okay. So I want to check whatever value we have in the X and Y. And I want to check if board of Y is triple equals to board of Z. So these are the conditions that will tell us, okay, like we have a winner. And what we'll do over here is we'll return board of X. We'll just return this icon, okay? Else, what we'll do is, in this case, we'll just return null, right? So this is our determine winner function. Now determine winner function is already accepting this. So now comes the part where we have to make this icon, okay? Make this icon dynamic. Currently we have the static value over here. So first thing I'll do is I'll change this to a button. So currently we have this as cell. So I'll change this to a button. Now on click, I want to perform some functions. Okay, so I want to perform some function whenever I click on this button. So what do we want to do? Now, what we want to do is the first thing is we want to set the state of the board. Okay. Why do we want to set it? Because whenever I'm clicking on certain cell, okay, suppose let's go over here. So if I click on this first cell, I want to set this index as O or as circle or as 0, anything. And if I click over here, I want to sell the index. What is this index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This fourth index I want to set as X. Okay. So we want to perform this option. So what we'll do is we will create a new board. Okay. And this will be a copy of the current board that we have. Okay. Now we want to update this board. And what we want to do? And we want to do is I'll check the I. We'll get the index of the current element that we are having. I'll take this I, and what I want to do is I want to set the value. Okay, from where we'll get the value, we'll get the value over here. Okay, if X is playing, this value should be X. If X is not playing, this value should be O. Okay, guys. So this is the value. Now we have the new board. So what we'll do is we'll just set this board over here. We'll take this set board. And what we want to do is we want to take this new board and set it over here. And another thing we want to do is we want to update the state because we want it to be toggle. So if currently X is playing and I click on some cell, then next turn should be of O. Okay, the O should be playing next. So we want to set X is playing. So whatever we have in the current value of X is playing, Just revert it. Okay. Now I'm using this I, but I'm not using it, so I'll just do this. Okay. Yep. Now we have this button. So yeah, so here, let's just go to the code and see if the logic is working right now. Okay, so we have some static values over here. Instead of the static values, what I can do is I can check whatever I have in board and take this ith value. Okay, now I should have empty. If I click X, I should click O, X, O, X, and so on and so forth. Now, so we are also getting this winner result. But there is one problem in the logic. Okay, there is one problem over here in the logic, which is we have determined the winner, right? But still, I am able to click on these. Okay, this should not be the case. So what we want to do is we want to disable. We should disable these buttons. So if I, currently if I am able to like double click on this button as well, right? So like what are the condition over here? So first condition is if this index, okay, if this index in the board array is already having a value, we should just disable it. And second thing is if we have a winner, then we should disable the button. Okay, in the case of winner, we don't want user to click on any button. Okay, even if it's empty, we don't want user to click. Okay, they should just reset the game at that time. Now what I'll do is on this button, what we'll do is we'll have a disable property. So this property will be dynamic. So there should be two conditions. So first thing is if there is no winner, okay, if winner is equals to null, or maybe make it disable if we have a winner. Okay, never mind. I think this is better because we won't know what would the winner. So winner could be X or O. So that would be a dynamic condition. So if winner is not equals to null, if we have some winner, okay, then it should be disabled. And the second condition is if board of I, if the current element is not equals to null, if we already have some element over here, they should be disabled as well. Okay, so these are the two conditions that will make disable and that will handle that edge case. Now, if we refresh this, your turn X, okay, so I'll give it my turn. So I'll put O over here for the second pair, and I'll put X over here, and again I'll put X over here. Okay, I put O. Okay, all right. So what I'll do is I'll add X, O, and X. So winner is X because of this combination. Now everything is done. We just have to write this reset logic. So this is like pretty basic. What we have to do is we have to take this set board, okay, and we have to set this as this. So here, and again, we have to set this explain as true. So this will reset the game and set the game to the initial state. So let's just try this, reset the game. Yep, your turn X. So X gives it a turn and O, X, O, and X. So winner is X. So guys, this is the logic. So this is the logic for this whole problem. So in this way, you can create the tic-tac-toe game. So this is a pretty famous question, which get asked in like literally many top product-based companies, right? So next time, if you if an interviewer asks you this problem, so you know what to do, right? Hope you guys enjoyed the video and make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time.